So in today's class, we have an interesting person who is an expert when it comes to branding. And then his name is Mr. George Neba from the founder of Brandway Academy from Cameroon. So I will take, what's it called, to read his profile now. I will take a cue to read his profile. Okay, let's listen to his short profile. Mr. George Neba is a multiple award-winning social entrepreneur and a personal branding strategist, coach, a mentor, a trainer, and a consultant who is specialized in personal brand clarity, identity, awareness, visibility, influence, impact, and monetization. He has the mandate to build thought leadership in socially conscious game changers, build entrepreneurs and corporate professionals by leveraging on the power of personal branding. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Mr. George Neba, the founder of Brandway Academy from Cameroon, as he takes on the stage. Please clap for him as he mounts to teach us tonight. You are welcome, sir, Mr. George Neba.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm so delighted. I do not take this invitation for granted. I really appreciate this invitation, and I appreciate you all who have made it a date with us today. Just to be sure that you are getting me clearly, please, can you just say hello?
Yes, we are getting you clearly.
Okay.
Hello, we are getting you clearly.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, okay, thank you so much. It's an honor to meet you all. I often love to be part of noble platforms like this where people are intentional about their personal development. So I didn't hesitate to accept this invitation immediately. I was told that I had to train. Now, let me start by asking you this question. Business in the 21st century. Why do I say so? When you focus on your personal brand, you can live on it that you have to transfer that to your job and your business, thus standing out amongst all others in whatsoever you do. So before we start, before we proceed, let me just find out from you, what do you understand by personal brand? When we say personal brand, or maybe should I ask, is there anybody here who has a personal brand? If so, what is that personal brand you have?
Yes, I do.
Please, let's wait to respond. Let's wait to respond, please.
Should you read that?
I'm seeing along Emmanuel, your camera is rather showing the roof. Yeah, so you want to share what your personal brand is?
Yes, my personal brand is to give counsel to students. I give counsel to students.
Intelligent. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
You know, my experience is that each time when I ask about personal brand, over 95% of those that talk about it rather talk about their corporate brand. In the past, when you talked about branding, people only thought about corporate brand or businesses or companies. But in the 21st century, in the advent of the internet and social media, we now have personal brands whereby we leverage the social media to implement strategies that corporate brands implemented to build a perception around their businesses and their services and their products, so that others around them, so that their clients or their audience should prefer them over others who are offering the same product or service. So your personal brand is therefore the perception people have about you based on the consistent interactions people have about you, based on the long-standing interactions they've had with you over time. But then building an initial impression is very important, because you never have a second chance to build an initial impression. So your initial impression should always be good. And that's why personal branding is conscious. You cannot tell people what they should think about you, but you can influence the way they perceive you, whether online or offline, whether the first time or the second time. And if people develop already a good impression about you at the first instance, and then they get to realize that you are consistent in creating such an impression or perception, they begin to believe in you. They begin to trust you. They begin to have confidence in you. And once it's consistent and coherent, you develop credibility in their minds. So as school leaders, the first thing you should be thinking about is to build thought leadership around yourself, around the services you offer. Because leadership in the 21st century has narrowed down to thought leadership, where you demonstrate your expertise, your dominance in whichever industry you find yourself. And like I've highlighted before, personal branding will help differentiate you from many others who are offering the same product and services that you offer. Why? Because there are so many people outside there who may be confused choosing you from all others. And once you have a poorly differentiated personal brand, you are operating like you are in the commodity market, where differentiation is very difficult. So if people find it difficult to differentiate you from all others, then you have a poorly developed brand. You've not worked on your brand, and you need to work on it. So personal branding differentiates you. It makes it easier for you to be identified and discovered. Secondly, it improves on your visibility. People cannot buy from you if they don't know you, they do not like you, they do not trust you. How will people know you when you don't know how to position yourself strategically, consciously, and deliberately in a way that portrays your best attributes? You need to learn that. Next, personal branding will help you improve on your level of influence. The more consistent you are, the more easy it is for you to be identified. The more credible you become, the more influential you become. And once you become more influential, it is easier also for you to even sell your services or your products at a relatively higher price. Where you work, you can bargain for a higher pay. If you have a service to offer, you can bargain for a higher fee, for example. And personal branding will expose you to more opportunities than others, improve on your networks, and even your level of income. So another good thing about personal branding is that it helps you to be leadership conscious, helps you to be conscious about the type of reputation you want to build around yourself, so that you can actually control the narrative around yourself. If you love to be known as a polite person, you cannot go online, for example, and be posting insultive comments. If you would love to be known as the expert that you are in your domain, you would surely want to leverage platforms like this one in order to showcase your expertise, and so on and so forth. So now let us look at a few ways in which you can start building your personal brand. And to start this part of the presentation, I want to reiterate that your personal brand is no brand at all if you don't have a strong online presence. In the 21st century, he who talks personal branding talks of a strong online presence. And it is important for you to know that there is a difference between having an online account and having a strong online presence. Now, how do you build a personal brand as a leader? The first thing is that you need to do an authentic self-evaluation of yourself. Ask yourself, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? It is important to know your strengths and weaknesses so that you can capitalize on your strengths and work on improving your weaknesses. For instance, if I want to start publishing content on my Facebook, I am an eloquent communicator, but I have poor video editing skills. I will need to go and develop my video editing skills. But because I'm an eloquent communicator, I'll capitalize more on talking than writing because I am excellent in talking. And so because I have defined myself and know that I am strong when it comes to communicating verbally, I may now be doing more of videos than writing, for example. So you see, and by the time I go and strengthen my capacity in developing and editing exquisite videos, I am now able to use my verbal communication skills combined now with my video editing skills, and then go ahead in branding myself. Another reason why it's good to do a self-evaluation is because it can permit you to know where you are lacking, and then you can collaborate with someone who has a skill that can align or complete or complement the skills you have. For instance, you can look for someone who is good at video editing to come and help you do that. You can look for somebody who is good at graphics designing to help you do that. You also define yourself by looking at existing opportunities around you that you can explore. Look at possible threats that you should avoid. A typical threat in today's digital space is cyber insecurity. You can go online before you realize that people have scanned, have hacked your account. Things like that. So you take into consideration all of that. You evaluate yourself and look at how you can explore existing opportunities. An opportunity you can explore online is to follow somebody who is doing something similar to what you are doing, and then learn from their experience, learn from their wisdom, learn from their errors, learn from their mistakes, learn from their solutions, and so on and so forth. Or you buy books, buy courses to upgrade yourself. Those are opportunities you can explore. You can collaborate with people. Those are opportunities. Then after you must have done an authentic self-evaluation, you now proceed to define your personal brand. What is it now you want to narrow down to? What is it you want to focus on? Don't be a jack of all trades and master of none. Choose one thing and be known as an expert in it. As for me, I am known broadly as an expert in personal branding. But if you bring issues related to corporate branding, I'll soon be ready to do it. When you bring up trainings or courses, when you bring up assignments like trainings, I am ready to do that. When it comes to public speaking, I also do that. I'm solicited to feature on platforms to train learners, corporate professionals, business entrepreneurs, and so on and so forth. But I focus my attention on personal branding, through which people will now know the other things I'm able to do. I focus my attention on personal branding to become an expert in it. When you are laser focused, you concentrate your skills, your knowledge, your effort, your resources to one thing, and it is easier for you to have a better yield and performance than when you scatter your energy, especially when you are starting. Yes, you can start and become an expert in one thing, and then later on you expand gradually to other things. Defining your brand also means defining your color palette. For example, you may want to use particular colors that represent you, just like a corporate brand. You may want to also define your target audience. If I am targeting Generation Z, I know that I can easily find them on TikTok. You see, when you define yourself, it's easier to know the type of language you should use, the channel you should use, where you should go in order to meet your target audience, what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. You define your mission, you define your values, you define your purpose, you define your vision. Your purpose and mission are different. People often confuse that. Your mission are the things that you'll be doing in order to achieve a positive difference in your community or society in the long run. And that positive difference will lead you to achieving your vision. That's the long-term goal, or the positive change that you expect to see in the world. But your purpose is why you do the things you do. It is the inner meaning. Simon Sinek describes that as start with your why. It describes it as your why. Why are you doing the things you do? Is it just because others are doing it? For instance, someone who is teaching and desires to actually enhance gender equality will be teaching with that sense of consciousness and constantly reminding students or their colleagues or even hierarchy about the importance of encouraging people from different gender to be equally involved. And as a school leader, if you're interested in gender equality, the moment that other teachers bring up that topic, you quickly resonate with it. You quickly partner with other organizations that work on issues related to gender. Why? Because you've narrowed down your focus to that level. You would quickly advocate policy related to gender equality. Then if you're a teacher who teaches and pays a lot and has the purpose of encouraging harmonious coexistence, you would see that you'll be incorporating aspects in your lessons, even though you may not be so specialized. Maybe you are teaching mathematics or chemistry or geography, history, literature, but you're not specialized in teaching a course on peace building, but you make sure that you incorporate aspects in your lessons that promote harmony, peaceful coexistence. You'll be sensitive in the way you behave towards others. For instance, you will not be confrontational, you'll be tolerant. You will not be insultive. You will not be tribalistic, you'll be just in your judgments and so on and so forth, because you have a purpose beyond just teaching, which is that of building harmonious coexistence. So that's it. So once you define your brand, you know the purpose for which you are teaching, or for which you were called to teach. You know the mission, the things you'll be implementing in order to achieve your vision. You define the values you want to stand for. For instance, is it integrity? Is it excellence? Is it punctuality? Is it hard work? And so on and so forth. Then you can go out now and start promoting your personal brand. Then that's the next. You start promoting your personal brand. And the easiest way to promote your personal brand is through content marketing. Content is king in this business. Content marketing simply means providing free information about the things you do. You can create an online blog. You can develop a website. You can create a blog, say on Facebook, or you create an account on, if you are more comfortable with video, you create an account on platforms that use videos. If you see someone like Teacher Chike, who is based in Nigeria, I'm here in Cameroon, I know him in Nigeria because he has built a strong online presence that makes him resonate up to the level that I know him now in Cameroon. He's very popular, especially on Instagram. If you are more comfortable, like I said, once you've defined your brand, you will now know where you should go to, because you know who to target, you know which channel you can use to target them, you know which message you can use, the voice you can use, the tone you can use. If you are talking to children in kindergarten, you surely want to use cartoons because they will resonate more with cartoons. If you want to talk to deaf people, you will surely want to use sign language because they will quickly understand that. So once you start promoting your brand, you leverage other people's platforms. Like this one, it's a way in which I'm promoting my personal brand. And coincidentally, I'm teaching on personal branding. You can use social media, for example, to showcase what you can do. Imagine that you are here, you teach English language. Don't only focus your attention on teaching English language to those that study English language, to traditional speakers of English language. Go the extra mile even to platforms where, or to countries where people are struggling to learn English language as a second language or as a third language, and connect with them. Look for groups like that. Publish content online regularly or consistently. And there are different ways of publishing content. For instance, you can just wake up this morning and go online and write a sentence that is written wrongly, and then you correct the sentence. Already people start seeing that this is somebody, if I have issues with grammatical errors, I can come to. You can decide to do a video to explain things to people, clarify them. You can decide to share even an experience you had in school. For instance, this lesson we are having, you have a right to publish about it online and say, today, I took part in a training on personal branding led by George from Cameroon, and this is what I learned. Content is not difficult to create. It's just that we imagine so far. We keep imagining that it's something that is very far from us. You write something, proofread it, write in a few lines and proofread it. As simple as that. You also promote your personal brand by soliciting to talk as a guest on radio stations, on radio programs, TV programs. You can also create even a podcast. You can write and publish articles in journals, even opinion editorials. You can write articles and publish. You can write books. You can develop even a digital product or service and sell. I, for one, if I just know that you are a journalist, I send you a friend request on Facebook, because I know that as I regularly publish my content, you would be seeing it, and the day you need somebody in that domain, you would contact me. Sometimes I even go ahead to get into your inbox and tell you that this is what I'm capable of doing. So be willing and ready and bold enough to sell your services without fear. And then another way of promoting your personal brand is actually collaborating with others. Yes. You have a right to contact somebody who is organizing an event and tell them that you want to work with them to organize that event, and then you share the you share the proceeds, not necessarily financial proceeds anyway. For instance, if I am collaborating with Emerald Educational Services, Concept and Services, I now have a right to publish about this event. Another way to promote your personal brand is to visit, to talk at conferences, workshops, seminars, train participants in the area of focus of your personal branding effort. Also attend events, network with people. In the 21st century, we build networks because your network determines your net worth. So do everything to build networks that are formidable, that are professional, that can promote what you are doing. Because birds of a feather flock together. So there are different ways in which you can promote your personal brand. It's very important. And then we look at the next aspect, which is develop a personal brand elevator pitch. During a networking session, you don't just go there and start saying, I am a teacher. It's so vague, it's so general. What if there are 20 other teachers attending that event? Or maybe 150 other teachers attending that event? So you should be able to say something that is specific so that somebody knows exactly the type of teacher you are. Or if you're a medical doctor, you just say, I'm a medical doctor. What if there are about 5, 10, 20 medical doctors attending that event? How do I prefer you over another person? If I'm a medical doctor specialized in, say, brain cancer, I should be able to narrow it down to brain cancer. Or if I'm a medical doctor specialized in street children, I should be able to narrow it down and say, I'm a medical doctor specialized in rehabilitation of street children. So that if for instance, during that event, there's a civil society activist, or even a minister, a government official that is also working with the social welfare that is specialized in street children, they will want to collaborate with you. Because birds of a feather flock together. If there's a media personality or a journalist that is specialized in reporting on street children, they will want to collaborate with you. So your personal brand elevator pitch carries 3 main things. What you do it for, and what makes you different, or what impact you create, or what result you've achieved in what you do. For instance, my personal brand elevator pitch is, I coach corporate professionals, socially conscious game changers, and business entrepreneurs to identify, define, and align to their authentic personal brand potential and leverage that to position themselves as thought leaders in whichever industry they find themselves. So already you know who I target: corporate professionals, business entrepreneurs, and socially conscious game changers. And what do I help them do? I help them to identify, define, and align to their authentic personal brand potential. And what's the impact of that? It helps them to leverage their personal brand to position themselves as thought leaders in whatever they do, so that it improves on their visibility, influence, impact, and income in whatsoever they do. So it's very clear and straightforward. And every one of you should have a personal brand elevator pitch. After this, you will get my number and get to me if you need me to assist you in doing that. And as professionals, everyone here needs at least an account on LinkedIn. Not just an account, but you must optimize it. And I can help you do that free of charge. You cannot be a professional and you are not on LinkedIn. You may not be on the other social media platforms, but not LinkedIn. Once somebody sees you on LinkedIn, they just look at you as a serious person. And lastly, be consistent in everything you do online. Be authentic in everything you do online. Be focused everything you do online. If you are not consistent, you lose credibility. If you are not authentic, you lose credibility. If you are not focused, you lose credibility. Because with time, people will discover who you truly are. You may succeed in the short run, but in the long run, you would fail. Because once people discover that you are fake, then you lose trust and confidence. And it takes so much to ever build back that trust and confidence. A simple way of being consistent is to have the same name on WhatsApp, Facebook, and all other social media platforms, similar to your real name. You cannot be George on Facebook, and then you are George on WhatsApp, and then on LinkedIn you are Don Boy, and then on Instagram you are George Nuba. Very wrong. Have the same tagline on all your social media platforms. On WhatsApp, you cannot have a tagline like, I am busy, don't disturb. WhatsApp only, I am feeling sleepy. Instead of putting a tagline that demonstrates what you do, who you do it for, and the impact you bring in your community. Upgrade all your social media platforms so that people can be able to see and know that this is what you do, this is who you do it for, and this is the impact that you bring. They know your exact name, they know your profile picture, they know you through your profile picture. Stop putting the image of your wife or your husband or your children or your grandmother or image of animals, or taking even the image of your business and blocking your image with it and blocking your profile pictures with it. People want to connect with you right from the time that they start looking at your profile picture. You never have a second chance to create an initial impression. So the first one should be a positive impression. And social media is the easiest way to trace you online, to verify about you online. When people want to verify about you online, they don't Google that your nickname. They don't Google your nickname, whether it's Curly Bling or Sexy Girl. No, that's not the name. They'll Google your real name. And once they Google that real name of yours, and you have been inconsistent online, you are George Nuba on LinkedIn, on Facebook, you are Nuba George, on Instagram, you are George Nuba. Even Google will be confused, search engines will be confused, they will not even know that it's the very person. And so if you Google your name after this, the exercise is that you go and Google your name and tell me what you saw. If what you saw on Google, you are not happy about it, no other person will be happy about it when they Google your name. Notice that the very way in which you find it difficult to identify others when you go online, especially people from other continents, that is, or other countries, it is the very way in which others have it difficult to identify you when you are inconsistent online. I was doing business with someone online from Asia, and he went, as we were discussing on WhatsApp, he went on Facebook and took somebody's picture and sent to me and asked me whether that was me. I said, no, it's not me. Why? Because he was confused. I said, no, this picture that you see like this is a very picture you see everywhere. This name you see is the very name you see everywhere. I did business with the Chinese in Cameroon. When I took money to go and change, when I went and changed the money and brought back to pay how much I had to receive my products, she told me when I came back, she was when I stood from her, I thought that she would understand that I am the one. Then she was asking, the way she was communicating with me is like this is a new client that has come in, and then she was asking details again, saying, but this is the very minute I was saying you took my details, and then I just went out to change money. Then she laughed and said, the thing is that we Africans, we resemble each other so much so that they find it difficult to differentiate between who is whom. Meanwhile, I used to think that Chinese resemble so much. I find it difficult to differentiate between one Chinese and another. They too think that we resemble so much. So one of the ways in which you start differentiating yourself is to have the right online assets, the right personal brand elements. You need to be consistent with your profile picture, consistent with your name, consistent with your tagline, consistent with the type of content you post online. Right from your profile, people should know the schools you went to, especially on Facebook and LinkedIn, the professional institutions you attended. And 8 out of 10 of the posts you do online should be related to the things you are specialized in. Stop sharing things left and right that are not related to the type of personal brand reputation you want to build for yourself. Stop commenting on just any type of post. You need to be responsible online. Posts that are related to religion, politics, sexology, ethnicity, race, and things like that, be careful. If you are not an expert in them, just better skip, because it will partly define what you stand for or who you are. And it can create a lot of controversy around your personal brand and influence and create a negative influence or reputation around your personal brand. In fact, there's somebody that lost a contract because when at an embassy here in Cameroon, because when the embassy was verifying the candidate, they realized that he had liked a racist comment online, and that's how he lost the contract. Why? Because there are institutions in the world now that have software that once your information is imputed, once your name is imputed, everything that all your interactions online, right from the day you were born to date, right from the day you joined the online platform to date, will be displayed, including comments, likes, tags, shares, and so on. If there's one thing I want you to go home with, the message is that your digital footprint is your most reliable and most valuable resume of the 21st century, or if you want to call it CV. It is your digital footprint is your most valuable and most reliable CV of the 21st century. It therefore means that when you carry your CV to somewhere, they will actually take it, but they'll still go and verify about you online. And they'll believe more the things they'll see online about you than the things they'll see on your CV. So whether you are looking for a job or you're seeking to win a contract or whatsoever, or a speaking engagement or consultancy, people will always verify about you. They'll verify your interactions online. A career builder research of 2018 actually showed that over 74% of potential employers actually verified the profiles of candidates online before they were ever recruited. And 48% of them actually used online platforms to verify current employees. It means that even when you're employed, employers still go online to verify and see your interactions, whether they are professional or not, and they can draw your attention to it. And 34% of those recruiting managers or employers had actually fired or dismissed their employees based on their interactions online. So you need to be extremely careful the way you interact online. The way you interact online can actually differentiate between a professional, reliable, and attractive online presence, or one that is unreliable, unprofessional, and unattractive. Stop following some of these influencers who don't have any purpose. They have not defined their values, and so on and so forth. Stop following them. You are a different breed. You are a professional that you were born to be. You are the professional that you are working to be. And so you cannot afford to follow people who do things purposelessly. So take into consideration these tips. It is so sad that after all what you've done, you've gone to school, you've invested, you're a very good girl or boy, a very good man or woman in your community, in church, and so on. You go online, and then because of some cruise, some people say they are catching cruise online, you betray yourself. In the long run, some of us here will want to lead, maybe become senators, become parliamentarians, become president, and so on. Your interactions online will speak volumes, as well as your interactions offline. In fact, there's a bank in Nigeria, it's just that I've forgotten the name of the bank, that was about doing a recruitment about 2 years ago. And then somebody went and applied. And then during the interview, they went and did a screenshot of a post that that young man did about that bank about 10 years ago. I looked for that post again, I didn't really find. I would have really been able to state it with certainty. And behold, that young man had insulted that bank, that was the worst bank in Nigeria. And that because he had a controversy, he had a problem. And instead of addressing it professionally, he went online and lambasted the bank. And so they were sitting in an interview panel. They just went and took a screenshot of that comment and said, and asked him whether he could express an opinion of it. And that's how he lost that job. So you need to be very, very careful. And as I conclude, my last word is that note that your digital footprint, and when I talk of digital footprint, I'm talking about all your interactions online, the posts you make, the images you post, the comments you make, the tags, and so on. If somebody tags you with a post that you do not like, that does not align with your values, untag yourself. Unfollow those pages that post comments that are contrary to your values, because they keep radicalizing you and influencing you to want to comment, because they will post things that contrast with your values. They'll post things that polarize the audience, making you to want to always argue, spend time online arguing and arguing with people that will never even learn. So your digital footprint is your most reliable and most valuable CV in the 21st century. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, let me have them. Please, are we there?
Yes, we are there, sir.
Okay. So should I presume that you've understood everything? Let's take about 5 minutes to respond to 1 or 2 questions, if any, or if you have a remark to make, feel free to do so. Yes, yes. My Lula class, go ahead.
Yeah, my Lula class, that's my name. Thank you so much, Brother George. I don't have a question, but a comment to say, old as I am, I have learned a lot from what you said. That personal branding is very important. Whatever we do in life, we have to be very careful. Some of us have been very careless, going online and writing a lot of things. But from today, I know that I have to choose the content that I have to post online. Thank you so much for the enlightenment.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Who else?
Thank you.
Okay. Who else has something to say?
I am trying to raise my hand, but my hand is failing. My gadget is failing me. Do you hear me?
Oh, sorry. Yes, go ahead.
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm like what Mr. Mailula has indicated, I had branding. You know, I would tell, as a principal, I usually look at the profile pictures on WhatsApp of my learners, because
Exactly.
they can tell you whether this learner is happy or not happy. And they will put themselves in the taverns or shebeens, smoking and drinking. And I would tell them to say, what you are doing, this information can be retrieved later on. So I have learned a lot from you, but what I love about your presentation is when you use a name that can be connected to your brand. Because person will write sexy girl. How can an old woman become a sexy girl? So I think your lecture and presentation is spot on. If our learners could hear your presentation, it will build them. Thanks very much, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Chepape. If I'm always open to collaborations, if there is an opportunity for me to, if you can organize a session, an online session where they'll be gathered and then I train them just the way I've done now, I'll be very willing to do that.
Yeah, I think I'll organize something, because in South Africa, I have got a group of learners that are around, they are now around 2,000 in 3 provinces.
Yes.
I think I will arrange something for them, and then we can then connect so that we collaborate and we assist future leaders. Thanks very much, sir.
Yes. Somebody asked a question here. Let me just type my number first before I take on the question. Okay, that's my phone number, 6707049998. Okay, Koketso just asked, George, how safe is it to collaborate or share information on the social media platforms? It's as safe as you can identify somebody whose values actually tie with yours. Okay, if you want to share, for instance, I am working with Emerald Educational Concept because I share a common value with them. I share a common value, which is that of empowerment, ensuring that through platforms like this, I can extend my influence to other communities, other countries. So you can work on those bases. But generally, before I work with you, Chepape was saying, and the other speakers, generally, I verify information about you online. I want to be sure that I'm not also connecting myself to some other personal brand who is at variance with the things that I stand for. It will not be good. It will have a way in which it will affect my personal brand negatively. So information is safe when you share it. When you share information that is shareable, it's not just about sharing other any form of information. If you're not comfortable sharing your information online, don't share it, because everything you post online, as long as it is not, once it has gone public, you don't have control over it again. So be careful. Do not post images or videos about you that are, say, half naked or naked images, or images that do not portray a good image about you, like You see, sometimes people are in a state of drunkenness, they take and post online and things like that, or gruesome images, graphic images that contain blood. I mean, you see like people, like road accidents, killings, and so on. You just take and brandish online information like that is not good. It violates the ethics of human life, the respect for human life, and then social interactions. So as long as information is not forbidden, you can share it. As long as you feel comfortable sharing information, you can share it. But if it's your private information or information that demeans or that lowers your personality, your level of professionalism and things like that, do not share. Do not, and then the golden rule: do unto others what you would expect them to do unto you. If you know, even if it is the right thing to share information, if you know that it will hurt, if you know that it is fake news, you need to verify to ensure it does not misinform, it does not disinform, it does not hurt, it does not mislead. Okay, things like that, you need to consider all of them. So that's the golden rule. Do not do unto others what you will not expect them to do unto you. It should not just be about the fun side of it. It could be fun, but hurts, but depresses people. So you don't share it. Thank you. Any other question? In the absence of any other question, we have just about 2 minutes left. I was supposed to have an hour session.
I'm trying to check that phone of yours. Can you put it on the screen? I'm checking on my gadget. I'm not winning. Can you put it on the screen again?
Okay. Okay, let me do that.
I'm using an old phone, so I can't navigate. My apologies.
So you want me to type in the chat again?
Yeah, when you were typing, it shows on the screen. It showed on the screen here.
Okay.
Or let me see. Oh, chat. Okay, I'll go to the chat now. I see the chat now. Yeah, you can type. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I'm fine.
Yes, I have posted it again.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, somebody's asking how to create an ebook to publish. I can help you on that. I'll help you. I can help you do that. The first thing is that it is important to create. That's a longer asking. It is important to create an ebook in your area of specialty. Take note. Sir. It's important to create an ebook in your area of specialty so that you master the language, you master the technical language involved. And then if tomorrow you want to be a ghostwriter and then you want to publish on an area which is not your area of specialty, you need to do extensive research because there are ghostwriters who write for others. But then writing a digital book now depends on which platform. Yes, the ebook can be a comic book. The ebook can be comic. Now, writing an ebook depends on many things. For instance, what objective you want to achieve? The objective you want to achieve would depend now, will direct you to the platform you have to post that the digital book and the layout, the style, the language, and so on. So it takes more than just writing the knowledge you have. And notice that ebooks need that you should do a lot of designing, interior design, and so on and so forth. Okay, can you share a website that can help publish a comic ebook? I'll do more research on that. Take my phone number and write to me, please. Write your different questions so that after this session, we can still continue the discussions. Sometimes after a training like this, you may not even have, thank you so much for the compliment. You may not even have some questions to ask, but when you go home, you start realizing that the questions start coming up. So take my number and write to me. We keep in touch. In case you have any question, you just ask and then I'll answer.
Thank you, sir.
Our time
That's
is
very
up.
good, sir.
Jepape.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
We have done well, sir. We have learned a lot from you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Alonge. Are you Nigerian or Cameroonian?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm a Nigerian, sir.
Nigerian.
Yes.
That name Alonge is also a name in Cameroon.
That's serious.
We also have a name.
That's
Yeah, so I was thinking, when I saw it, I thought it was Cameroonian.
no. It's from Nigeria, sir. I'm a Nigerian.
Okay. So each and every one of you that
Thank you,
still has questions, please write to me on WhatsApp. Let's continue the discussions there since my time is up.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. No problem. So we'll do that.
Yes, I really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you so much. So I think we can end the session here now. Thank you so much for making it a date with us. And I'm looking forward to collaborating with you more often in the days ahead. I wish that we work together in order to expand our influence and impact. And if you are creating a social media platform, whether Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, or whatsoever, let me just go through it and help you optimize it and improve on your ability to manage that Facebook profile.
Okay, that is good, sir. We appreciate that. I think it's okay, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much, and meet you next time, please. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Are we done? Can we exit?
I was wondering the same. I think it's done. I don't know. I'm also leaving.
It's as if people are living. What
Yeah,
of the host? Okay.
I guess we are done, guys. So I don't know. The coordinator is connected, but make it.
Okay, I think he's not connected now.
Okay, hopefully see you guys tomorrow for the next session.
Okay, thank you, sir. See you too as well. Thank you. We'll meet
Hey,
tomorrow.
bye, guys. Yeah,
Bye,
see you
sir.
tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It is.